Welcome back to the Find Your Place podcast. My name is Bianca.
And my name is Jessica.
And today we have a special guest who you may have seen on TikTok if you've been scrolling and are interested in the luxury real estate market. Family man, businessman, and social media extraordinaire. We welcome Mark Salerno to the podcast.
Thank you for having me on today.
Welcome.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Firm Friday.
It is from Friday today, actually. We got 2 deals that are conditional that should firm up today, so we'll see what happens.
Beautiful. Ooh. Well, welcome to the 5th episode, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, 5th episode of the Find Your Place podcast.
Nice.
Mark, it's an honor to have you here today.
Thank you.
So some people may already be familiar with who you are, the name, Firm Friday, the hashtag.
Yeah.
But we thought we would spice things up. So instead of having you do the intro, hey, my name is Mark, I've been in the industry for,
for 17 years.
We thought we would ask you to describe yourself using 3 words.
3 words. All right. Hardworking, for sure. Loyal and trustworthy.
Ooh,
Yeah.
hardworking, loyal, and trustworthy.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, you know, in real estate, oftentimes when people have a team or a brokerage, there's usually certain words that they use to describe the team: trusted, respected, whatever it is. Yeah, there's like a motto. Do you find that who you are as a person is exactly in line with the way you run your business?
Absolutely.
And is that why it's easy for you just to do what you do on a day-to-day?
You know what? When you just do what's normal for you, it makes life easy, right? So I figure, the things that were instilled in me from my father for the business was something I'll never forget. He's always like, Mark, treat your clients the way you want to be treated. So if I want to be treated like shit, I'm going to treat my clients like shit. If I want to treat my clients the way I want to be treated, which is with respect. Yeah. Again, I use the word loyalty because in this business, trust is everything. And I think that's how we built
the only thing.
Our success.
Really.
Look, you can be a flash in the pan in this business, come in, get hot, and fall off. And we've seen people do that. But to build over, decades, this is how long we've been around for. I've only been around for 17 years.
So tell us about the business prior. Your dad, what did he...
So he started real estate in the mid 60s. I think it was like 1964 is one of like the OGs.
Wow,
and he was
sick.
in the city, right?
Yeah.
So obviously I wasn't around then. I was born in 1985. Yeah. But he did residential real estate till about the mid 80s, till when I was born. And then he only did land. So it was just strictly land development with builders and, maybe do a couple deals a year here and there. So it was a different aspect.
Was he considered a broker or was he, okay.
So to rewind, 1970, he opened up his own brokerage. Okay. And that's when it was Salerno Real Estate.
Okay.
1980 converted it to Euromart Realty. So he just changed the name.
Where did Euromart come from?
The story, I'm not even 150% about it. I know that there was someone that he was dealing with that had this name Euromart. And they actually, I think they're still around today in Toronto.
Really?
I believe they're called the Euromart Group.
Okay.
But so he opened Euromart Realty. He just changed the name in 1980. When I took over in 09, Euromart, that's all I knew. I didn't even know Salerno Real Estate existed prior to that. So I ran it for 10 years under Euromart.
Okay.
And then finally I was just battling with Salerno Real Estate.
Yes.
And Euromart Realty. I had 2 websites. We had 4 people at the company. I have salernorealestate.ca, euromartrealty.ca. And it just didn't make sense.
And double the work. Yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense. And finally, I'm like, you know what? Let's do a full rebrand. Let's come back as Salerno Realty. And then at that point there, I may just change it to Salerno Realty Inc. rather than Salerno Real Estate. Yeah. And we're 52 years running right now.
So were you working with your dad?
No.
Or no?
That's the one thing that sucked is I didn't get that opportunity. So I got my license in 06. Right away, he's like, okay, if you're going to get into real estate, no problem. Go for it. But what are you going to do with me? All I do is land development.
Yeah.
There's not enough work on the land side. And I want to do the residential sector anyway. So he goes, you're going to go here. So he brought me to Rolla Page at Weston and Langstaff, met with Jack Fusco, didn't even interview with anybody else. I liked him. Yeah. Signed up. I'm not a person that likes to change. For example, look, and some people need to find that right groove for them. So it's okay. But when you see realtors switching,
I've seen successful people switch like 17 times.
As soon as something new comes up.
It to me, it's like, I'm the type of person, again, loyalty, right? Like if something works for me, I don't change it. That's just the way it is. And obviously you have to adapt, with changing times. So you need to tweak things. But had my dad not got sick at the time, I don't know if I would have left, because like things were good. My dad had a brokerage, but I was working somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right. But my dad was literally at that point, 2006 to 2008, it was a business card, no website, nothing, work from home.
Yeah.
Right. So when I took over your market, it was like, okay, what do I do now? I was at a comfy office. Now I'm home with no brokerage, like a brokerage, but no office.
Wow,
Yes.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was talking, on the previous podcast, like, guys, I used to do everything. So appointments would come in, I'd have a book. 2009, write down the appointments, confirming
Not
appointments.
a computer, guys, a book.
And this is 2009. This is not like 1985.
Yeah,
2009. I had still a manual trust ledger for the brokerage.
Wow.
Which, nowadays everything's on the computer. But I was writing in manually on the trust ledger in 2009. It makes me feel like a dinosaur. But I was 24 years old at the time, right? And it was like, it was new. It was exciting. It was scary. But like, I wanted it.
So you were part of,
I was at Royal LePage
and then you
for
moved
3
over
years.
to the,
Then I switched over to
and then how many people were there with you?
Nobody.
It was just you. It
was by myself.
Me, myself, and I.
me, myself,
Okay.
and I, wearing every hat at the brokerage. at the
Okay.
time, right?
Okay, so what did your days look like? Because I'm curious to know what your days look like today
Yeah.
versus what they looked like years ago. So
Then.
walk us through that.
Obviously, I wasn't as busy back then.
Yeah.
Look, I've always liked to think I was pretty successful in this business.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you go back 12, 13 years ago, if you were doing 10, 12 deals, it was good.
Yeah.
It's not what 10, 12 deals was today. Like today, you can do 5 deals in a year and have a decent year.
Yeah.
Back then, you were doing 10 deals. What was it, right? Like some
Right.
commission checks were $5,000. I drove out at the beginning of my career. I went everywhere, and we still do. This is the reason why we kind of were all over the map. But I remember driving 3 hours north to go do a deal for $140,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
What was the commission on that? $2,500.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we did it.
Yeah.
Well, I always say we, guys, because I don't like using I. Okay, like I have a brokerage, I have a team. We're small, but I just like using we.
Yeah.
And I would go anywhere. Like for me, it just didn't matter. If I have an Ontario real estate license, why not sell wherever, right? Especially when you're starting.
Yeah. Was that instilled in you by dad? I want to know about your personality and your dad.
I think it's more my
Yeah.
work, my personal work ethic.
Yeah.
In the sense, like, look, am I the most organized guy? No, I'm not. I will be the first person to say that.
Brad was like my dude when he was a little bit late. I was like, my dude.
I'm an organized mess,
Me
if you
too,
want
me
to call
too.
it that,
Yeah.
right? But when I get something in my head,
You're going straight.
I'm gonna get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's not can I, I'm going to. So it's just, that's been, growing up, I played a lot of sports, always excelled in sports, and I took that competitive edge into real estate.
Yeah.
Anything I've ever done in my life, I feel like either I do it 150% or don't waste my time. I'm not doing it, because if I can't give somebody everything, why do it? And I took that mentality into like even how servicing my clients,
Okay.
I like to think that I go above and beyond. I know it's tough, especially now seeing fast forward, 2 kids. I have a daughter that's turning 5 and one that's turning 8. I have a wife, and it's hard to separate the work balance and life balance when you're in real estate. If you're doing this
Yep.
full time and you're successful and you're busy, you're working
a
morning
tough
to
one.
night.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
a tough
hard
one.
to separate, I'll be honest. But again, it's in me. It's
But
like,
what are your plans for that? Like, let's just say we fast forward 10 years into the future.
hopefully
Yeah.
by then, I don't ever want to say I'm going to stop working.
Yeah.
That's not what I want to do, but I'm really busting my ass right now so I can enjoy life.
Right.
I don't want to be in a position where, and I look at my dad, because that's the example, right? Guy worked from when he was 15 years old. He worked in real estate till he had a stroke.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to be that guy in the sense where it's like, I love my business. Do I want the business to stay around? Yes. Am I still going to be involved? But I think it'll be a different role in the future, more on the, I don't want to say manager side,
Yeah.
but pull back from the sales side of it
Yeah.
eventually,
Yeah.
because I want to build a brand.
More CEO mindset, more
Yeah.
Yeah.
running a company versus
But my thing is, I love the
Running in the
I
company.
love
The
love
grind?
The
Is that what
grind.
you're gonna say?
I love the grind. Like, and that's what gets me excited. And the thing I love about this business is every day's a different day.
Yep.
So, you say, Mark, you wake up, what's your day look like? Every day's
There's no
different.
schedule.
The phone, different phone calls, different leads come in every day. So it's exciting. Nothing's ever the same. That's
Yeah.
what excites me about real estate the most, is the different people you get to meet And it's not just as, selling a house. You're a counselor. You wear so many hats, like,
Psychologist, yep.
especially now with the market. Okay, so we're early June right now, 2022. The market's changed. We have some deals that we sold back in January and February. Guess what? They're not closing right now.
Yep.
And everyone wants to talk about all the successes in this business.
Yeah.
But so how many phone calls have I had to deal with in between after the sale, after I did my job?
Yep.
Having to deal with now another 100 phone calls, and guess what? You might have to go back at it again.
Yeah.
So this the thing of this business. Do I like that? No, that's not what I want to do my job twice. But again, it's a different thing every day. So that's what keeps me motivated, I guess.
It being Salerno Real Estate, are there other family members that are currently in the business?
Yes. So I brought my brother. I was asking for years. My brother's a lawyer. Okay, he got called to the bar. I think it was 2009 actually.
What kind of law?
He was doing personal injury.
Okay.
And I said, Mike, look, obviously we've been growing. I brought team members on. And I said, Mike, why don't you get your license? So he did. And now he's working, I'd say, 6 days a week as a realtor and 1 as a lawyer.
Wow.
Yeah.
And having him at the company, obviously I love it. Like,
Game
my dad
changer.
would have loved to see this, right? And my mom, she had her license back in the day with my dad. Like,
Okay.
literally.
Oh,
But you know
that's
what?
sweet.
My dad passed away, 13 years ago, 12 years ago. And it's like, my mom's still young. I said,
Yeah.
Mom, why don't you get your license? She's, something
God,
to do with
I
us. So
love
it's
this.
awesome. Yeah, I know. So
Family, real
she's part of it.
family.
Yeah, it's a real family brokerage. But
Yeah.
even the people that are with me,
Are
I
like
consider
family.
them family to me.
So do you ever work from home? Do you have an office in home? You were talking about separating the work and personal life.
I don't
Are you
have
always
an
in
office set up at home.
Okay.
No. So if I got to work at home, it's, pop the laptop open and away you go. But I do not, now that we have our, physical office,
Yeah.
I try not to. I used to have it at home,
Yeah.
even 5 years ago.
And you were, I assume you did that on purpose, right? So that you're able to kind of separate the space?
No, just more because we were growing.
Yeah.
And it, obviously for signage and stuff like that, you want to see it.
Yeah.
Physical offices nowadays, if you're spending time in the office, odds are you're not making money. Like, that's just what it is. If you're sitting behind your desk
Yeah,
all
yeah,
day in real
yeah.
estate, your odds are not busy.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But it's nice to have that space, especially where we are. We're in the village of Kleinberg, center ice on Islington. Just the signage alone for me is worth it, right? But it's nice to have that physical office because then, we get together, we talk. Every
Yeah.
Friday we have our meetings.
Yeah.
Like today, sorry I'm late. Right? So yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice.
Okay, so we were talking about family, and I'm curious, would you want to have your daughters also get into the industry? Because you were mentioning your father was in the industry, but that was something
Yeah.
that you wanted to get into, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I want my kids to do what's going to make them happy. That's first and foremost.
Yeah.
Do I want them getting into real estate? I don't know. It's a tough question
fast.
it is fast. But again, if they want to, I will support them 1,000%.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, again, for when I think about my kids, I just want them to be happy. I don't care what it is they want to do, as long as they're happy. That makes me happy. And it's tough because they're younger to say that.
Yeah,
so fast
yeah,
forward
yeah.
15 years, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know.
You might change your mind. You might
Might
be like,
change my
I don't
mind.
want you to do anything that makes you happy. Those things are wrong right now.
I don't know. We'll see. Please let me worry about that
yeah.
when the time comes.
We'll touch back with
Yeah.
you in,
Yeah,
10 years.
Yeah,
We'll have you back
10's a
on.
little early, maybe 15.
Yeah, 15, maybe. See, he's just like,
Put
wait,
'em
give
into
me more
their
time.
20s.
Oh my gosh.
So you have an air of this. The way that you seem to go at business is in a. I don't want to say it's not delicate at all. Oh, they're
Yeah.
coming for you, Mark. They're coming for you.
Guys, lucky.
Oh, another hot sale, another firm deal. So you don't seem to come to things delicately. You seem to fight. You seem to negotiate in a more of an aggressive manner, more what we would call today more masculine way of being. So there's this thing in culture and in society where men are really being pulled away from acting in a manly way, and it's being called macho or toxic or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for young men who are trying to find their own masculinity and power?
Look, I want to say, maybe from the outside, and this is the first time we're meeting,
Yeah.
right? So you may look at me. I'm a big guy, I'm a tough guy. I'm a
Teddy bear.
I'm a teddy bear.
I got that,
Okay,
but there's a portion of you
have
that
to be
takes
though
on.
in business, whether
Yeah.
you're a male or a female.
Yeah.
You need to be. I don't want to use the word aggressive, but you
Yeah,
gotta be
that's-
assertive.
yeah,
in
assertive,
what,
that's the
in
word I
what,
was
in
looking
what
for.
you do. Okay, and there's a way to do it properly, and there's a way not to do it. Like, I'll tell you, last week I had a conversation. First time I ever spoke to this agent. We were, You know, she's talking about bringing in an offer, brought in an offer. And the next day, because we were supposed to sign it back in the morning. I said, you know what, tomorrow morning we're going to sign it back. By the time my clients got to the DocuSign, it didn't leave much time. I'll be honest, there was 4 hours left on the irrevocable.
Yeah.
So when I sent it to her, I said, don't mind the irrevocable.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you guys are going to accept the deal and you can't get to it in time, just sign it back to me and we'll work with it. And if you're going to sign it back to me, no problem.
Yeah.
It was a very aggressive message I received back, because this was the call we took the day prior.
Right.
And when I did the follow-up at night, hey, expired, followed up.
Yeah.
Didn't message me. Next morning, hey, good morning. You know, again,
Yeah.
just want to check in. I got a really nasty message back, and I just picked up the phone. I'm not going to get into the text message game, and it was very aggressive towards me, and it kind of fired me up a little bit, and maybe more than I wanted to. Let's put it that way. But again, we're not supposed to, as realtors.
We're not competing.
We're not competing, and we're supposed to work together.
Yeah.
We're trying to get to a common goal, and that's making your client happy and my client happy, and we get to the middle and we make a deal. There's no need to be combative with another realtor. You know, and I kind of had to say it to her. I said, look, like, we've never dealt with each other before.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work with you here, and you're just coming at me hot right now.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, at the end of the conversation, I hung up.
Yeah.
I just hung up the phone because I couldn't deal with it anymore,
Yeah.
right? And then after I sent her a text message later on, I'm like, listen, you know, didn't like the way that conversation went today.
Right.
But if you guys are ready to do something, we want to sell the house.
Yeah.
You guys want to buy the house. If we can make it happen, great. If not, you know, listen, thank you for yours and your client's time at the end of the day. So I think there's a way in negotiating that you have to kind of stick to, and it's number one, being professional with somebody first and foremost.
Yeah.
Give the respect to everybody. I don't care if you're someone who just came into the business or you've been in the business for 40 years. Be respectful to your peers, and that's who we are, because we got to work together at the end of the day.
All we really have is our reputation, right? So next time you have a deal that went smoothly with the other agents, you're like, well, hey, you got any people for me? That deal was really smooth.
Well, that's the whole
Yeah.
point. That's the whole point of it, really, at the end of the day. Like, I want to work with people who are respectful and people who just want to get deals done. At the end of the day, we have a goal, and our goal is to sell real estate.
Yeah.
And try to make the process as easy as possible without creating havoc along the way. And I know it's tough because, guys, the market right now, we know it's tough for people, buying and selling side. It's very difficult, right?
And realtors are under quite a bit of pressure now from both sides, right? You have, I literally had a photo shoot yesterday with my team, and I have one colleague who was like getting off the phone and in tears because the sellers now they have these different expectations, right?
It is, but
even if
sellers sell, that was something on the way here. I was like, you know what? I hope they want to talk about that. You know, seller expectation.
Yeah.
But it's also realtor guidance.
Yes,
Managing
of course.
expectations. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think right now the thing that, and we spoke about it again before, is as realtors we have a job. It's not to get a deal done.
No.
It's to take care of your clients and making sure you're directing them in the right path. I'm starting to see, and I'm sure you guys are also, you know, problems coming up in the market, because especially when it was nothing on the market, throw offers in on properties, the response, and I was looking on Reddit, there was something that came up. It was a text conversation through a client and his thing. It was just on Reddit, so I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, what do you think we should go in at? Well, whatever you feel comfortable with, give your best, put it on paper.
I hate that. I honestly.
The thing is, though, the client is hiring you for a reason, because you're the professional.
Yeah.
Give your opinion. Hey, I think it's worth $1.5 million. If you need to stretch another 20, 30K, you know, at the end of the day, that's your discretion. But I think it's worth this. Not just give $1.8 million.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been in a lot of deals where I've seen top offer and second offer with a significant gap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why? Because maybe that realtor just wants to get a deal done.
Yeah.
You know, and it's tough. I don't like seeing stuff like that. At the end of the day, my job is to represent the seller. If I'm on the listing side, if I'm on the buying side, it's to represent the buyer. And I have to worry about my clients, but people need to focus a little bit more.
So what if you get a signed call and a buyer says, hey, I want to buy this house. You're representing the sellers. How do you feel about multiple representation, representing both parties?
So I typically won't take it on as multiple rep. Okay, I'll provide all the service I need to, but at the end of the day, I make it clear unless it's my own client that I'm signed in with, I will not go into multiple rep.
Okay, so they'll just be a customer.
Yeah, listen, I can draw the offer up for you. I can show you comps, but at the end of the day, it's on you, right? But again, we'll guide them the way we need to. But saying that, I had a situation during the heat of the market where my direct, who came in, I showed the house to, wanted to give me an offer on offer date. We did. Another agent. Both offers were identical with the exception of $200.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was crazy. And we're talking about a high ticket price property. So $200. My clients came into the office to see me because it was narrowed down to the two. And first thing he looked at me, the client says, Mark, what are the offers? I told him, he goes, okay, we'll take your offer. I'm like, hang on. Why? Well, Mark, you worked hard.
Yeah.
I'd rather your client get it. And
Wow.
that is the discretion of the seller.
And
Yeah,
listen,
I mean,
it's my job at the end of the day to go with what the seller wants, but we didn't take my client's offer.
okay.
I'll be honest, we didn't. I need to, especially in a situation like that where I don't know the client, I went back to the seller and I explained the differences between the offers. Obviously, everything was pretty similar. Closing dates were a little bit of a change, where I think the other offer was better for the closing date. And ultimately, we ended up working with the other deal because the client that I was speaking to felt a little hesitant. I said, let me just make sure. And I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
99 out of 100 agents on an almost $3 million property to double end it with no collateral agreement.
Yeah.
We're talking about $70,000 or $80,000 more.
Yeah.
When the client says, where's the pen?
We're like, here you go.
Sign
Take it.
here, and here,
Yeah.
and I'll worry about it later.
Yeah.
I made the extra phone call. I called the client and I said, regarding the closing, because we are looking for a quicker closing. I know you're at 90. Can you push forward? Then it was, oh, Mark, maybe I might need $120 instead of the 90. So I started feeling a little bit of discomfort.
Yeah.
So that's when I went back to the seller, explained everything out. And he goes, okay, Mark, well, then if you're saying, that there's potentially an issue with closing on that, well, let's work with the other deal.
Yeah.
And I sold the house
With the other
to the
deal.
other agent.
Yeah.
So essentially what you're saying is price isn't always the determining factor, right?
Price is not always a determining factor, but again, feel. Like, don't.
It's that intuition that kicked in.
The tough part about this, guys, is because when we're in a business where there is potentially a lot of money at stake, not only for the clients, but for the realtor.
Yeah.
And it's hard for someone to sit there and say, I don't feel like making an extra $75,000 tonight. I'll be honest. But does it cross your mind? Absolutely. But ultimately, you have to weigh what's the most important thing at the end of this. The client. What do you think is going to put the client in the best position? And if it's to push it to somebody else,
Then that's it.
then that's what you have to do.
Right.
Ultimately, at the end of the day. Right? And again, clients make the final call. Our job is to give the full spectrum, let the clients see everything, and let them decide ultimately at the end of it. But again, I say these things because there's a lot more realtors today. Every other day there's a new real estate agent.
I get DMs probably like 5-10 people a week are like, so like, how do you like in real estate? I'm thinking of getting my license. I always tell people, honestly, you'll love and you'll hate it. There'll be days where you hate it until you pick yourself up and actually start doing well. Because just be prepared to not do the best at the beginning, but once you do, it is a wonderful business.
I encourage people when people ask me, Mark, get your license.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with getting your license. Even if, you don't want to trade and you want to just kind of keep it for personal use, go for it.
Yeah.
But when people see what's going on online, everyone thinks every realtor is a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
Because the way everything looks
Yes.
online.
Yes.
Okay? And my whole thing is just there's a lot of people coming to the business and you're starting to see the effects of it, not because, I'm losing business, but because the lack of quality in agents today. I posted something a couple days ago. We have a listing, I won't say where another agent put one on the market with a 17-day offer date.
Wow.
Okay.
Might as well just make it for a year. 17 days. Offer date comes. I see it's not updated. Doesn't sell. Fine. Call the office.
Oh,
Next
I saw
day,
your post.
I called 3 times the agent.
Yeah.
I only got a call back from the assistant.
Yeah.
And when I asked the assistant, they didn't know anything.
Yeah.
The agent didn't call me back.
Ooh.
Didn't call me back.
A luxury listing.
No, this was a $1.5 million home.
Okay.
Didn't call me back.
Yeah.
I sent the text message like 6 days later to say, hey, no update on the listing. Did you sell? Did you not sell? Called you, read the message, didn't text back.
Holy cow. That's
So
tough.
if an agent's doing that, forget about me.
Yeah.
Any other agent. If a listing agent is doing that,
That
what are
client,
they doing
that
to their
poor client.
What,
Yeah.
what
Oh
if
my
there's
gosh.
direct leads coming in for that listing?
Yeah.
Again, we're trying to work together, right? You can't pick up the phone to call someone back or text.
Yeah.
There's
Or
a
your
big,
clients.
There's a big issue. You're not too busy.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're not too busy.
So still no word.
Still, I haven't heard back. May 24th. It's June 3rd today?
Yeah.
Still haven't heard back.
Wow.
And the listing still hasn't been updated. It still says there's an offer date on May 24th.
No way.
I
Dang.
swear.
There might. I mean, what if that's one of those anomalies that something really crazy happened? That sounds.
No.
That sounds insane.
No.
That sounds like.
It's laziness. I'll be honest. That's all. That's the only thing I can account for.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, because if you're seeing stuff like that again, if I'm a client and my house had an offer date and the listing's not updated, I get it. Sometimes now people are stringing the price out. They don't change the price and they just want to leave it there
Yes.
to field calls.
Yeah.
Okay, but get back to the peers in your business.
Right.
Now,
It's
what
just
about
bad business at the end of the day.
What about when you're okay? So, what is your sort of structure and method for when you're calling someone? You have a buyer and you're gonna call the listing agent. How do you pull information in a proper way out of your colleagues?
out of the other agent.
Top secret information,
Yeah,
guys.
give us your secrets.
Guys, I'm a no bullshit kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'm a straight shooter.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
again, let's feel out the situation. Obviously, you're trying to feel it out in the right way. And if they're going to be closed, they're going to be closed. It is what it is. I'm not asking to tell me what's your client's bottom line. I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah.
Especially if it's an offer date situation, because that's difficult. As a listing agent, we don't know what it's going to be on that day.
Yeah.
I tell people, put your best foot forward. But I think it's important when you're talking to that realtor, try and feel out the situation. You know, obviously, the questions you want to ask are the closing questions, expectation questions, because sometimes on a preemptive, if the clients have a number, sometimes even my clients say, hey, if I get X prior to offer date, I'd consider.
Yeah.
So if someone asks me, hey, it's my clients telling me,
Yeah.
Mark, if we can get this kind of number, float it out there.
Yeah.
So it depends on what the client is willing to, or sorry, the agent is willing to
Divulge or
divulge
share or whatever.
share
it
with
is.
you.
Yeah.
As long as it's keeping everything above water, I think it's good. But guys, I'm a no BS guy. I like to just, I don't want to say cut to the chase.
Straight shooter.
But let's not waste each other's time at the
Yeah.
end of the day. If, someone called me 2 days ago for one of my listings, my clients told me bottom line's 2.4.
Yeah.
Guys are saying, hey, I'm going to bring you an offer at 2,150.
Not gonna
Don't
happen.
waste
No.
your time.
Yeah.
Don't waste mine. All it's going to do is aggravate my client.
Yeah.
They've given me discretion on where we can go with this.
Yeah.
There's no point in going through the motions for no reason, right?
Some agents do that because they want to show that they're bringing offers to their
Well,
clients,
listen,
though, right?
But when you've already had the numbers on paper, then it's like,
What's the point?
don't do it. And again, the client's saying, don't waste my time.
Yeah.
Again, you have to go on what your client advises you to do ultimately at the end of the day.
So things changed during COVID.
Yes.
Everyone started doing business via DocuSign, over the phone.
Zoom.
It's different. And I mean, I wasn't in the industry prior to that. So you've definitely seen the shift, right? The changes. Are you, when you're doing multiple offers and it's offer date, are you meeting with your clients in person?
Never anymore.
Never.
That is not.
So that has changed.
So I did, probably since COVID started, a couple times
Yeah.
when it's elderly clients for sure. But I think it actually goes a little bit more smooth. Before it used to be like, let's go to the house, 18 people outside, bring the offer in, client, don't even give any facial expression. If that
God.
thing's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
$500,000 over what you expected, just be quiet.
So now you're an acting coach at that point
Yes,
too.
yes. But saying that now, I like to do it via DocuSign, and I like to do it because, especially when you have a listing where you're going to get a lot of offers, it's just easier for me to be in a controlled environment at the office, not having the clients at the table, talking and this. Hey, we got 10 offers. I put them on a spreadsheet.
Yep.
Price, conditions, closing date, deposit. It's all set up.
Yep.
Once I have all the offers in front of me, I'll send it to my clients. Okay, guys, let's review this together now. This is the short form version of what we have in these deals.
Right.
Then we'll narrow it down to who we're working with, and then it's nice and simple and easy.
Yeah.
I like it that way. Not saying I don't like the in-person thing, because that used to get me fired up. Okay? But if people don't want to do that because they don't want to have 10 different families coming in the house,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
It's
can only
changed.
imagine what it was like before.
Now, do you think they're actually are they really going to go through with this unblinding offer? Like, I
Listen,
think they're doing this, right?
if they want to do it, they can do it. All I think it's going to do is
raise
jack
prices.
the prices.
Yeah. Yeah.
It will. That's
Yeah.
my opinion on it.
I don't think I've come across a person in real estate who's said differently. It's odd to me that would even be brought to the table when so many professionals, and it's not just realtors, we're talking about all real estate professionals think it's a bad idea.
It's
Economics professors think it's a bad
Yeah.
idea.
It's the problem that the general public
They don't know better.
trust realtors.
Yeah.
Call a spade a spade.
It's
Yeah.
back to what you said, which
Because
is
the unfortunate part is, again, there's some people who take the job very seriously,
Yeah.
and then there's some people who are just in it for themselves.
Yeah.
And I've been in situations like that before where because the agent wanted to double end the deal, they, backdoor the client,
Yeah.
which is your client. And
Yeah.
how do you explain that after? And that's garbage needs to be cleaned up, because we're talking about a lot of money here. It's not a joke, right? But if they decide to go forward with that, that's what we're going to have to get used to, and we're going to have to work with it.
Yeah.
Right. It's
So,
part of the business.
You've had a lot of success in your life.
Yeah.
Now, can you think back to a time where you really were at a breaking point, where things were not easy, where there was almost like backed up into a corner type deal?
I'd say more at the start of my career.
Yeah.
It took me 6 months to do my first deal.
Yeah.
I was young. I was 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Suit and tie at the office.
I love that.
And,
Youngest one there.
Yeah, literally the youngest one there. And I just knew, again, it goes back to that mentality. And I'll never forget, actually, because I was sharing an office with Massimo Canella at the time at Royal LePage, in the far corner of the office, probably the worst office there, because we started around the same time. And I was like, I got to make this work. What am I going to do? And I remember watching The Secret. I swear to you, I watched that video on my computer, and I wrote down all the stuff, and I'm like, I want to make X by this.
Yes.
And then it started coming together. But because I was working though too, right?
Yeah.
Like, the problem is people think they can come into the business and it's like, I got my license, I'm going to be a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people realize that they come into business and lose money.
Yep.
Yep.
Right? It's the simple reality. There's a lot of realtors, and I think the stat came out, it was like 66% of realtors do less than 2 deals a year. 2 deals in
Less than
today's
like 30
standards,
grand a year.
Yeah.
right? So, but even in today's standards, it's not, 2 deals is not going to pay the
Sustain
bills.
you, no.
But 2 deals nowadays could be 50,000,
50.
could be 100,000. Still a shitload of money.
Yeah.
For 2 deals.
Yeah.
Right? Back in the day, you did 2 deals.
$5 grand.
You were done. You needed another job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that was the point, I think, where I really had the struggle, if you want to call it, was at the beginning of my career. And a lot of people look now, it's like, when I tell people I didn't do a deal for 6 months,
They don't
they're
believe
like,
you.
They're like, Mark, honestly, that makes me feel amazing, because that gives me hope.
Yeah.
That's what I said to you when we spoke last year. When we got off of Clubhouse, I asked if I could speak to Mark on the phone, and he
it
phoned
was,
me.
who was the, I forgot the other girl's name. We did a 3-way call.
Victoria.
I remember I was outside of my Davidson listing at the time, and we spoke for about a half an hour. That was the first time we spoke, right?
And that's what I asked you. And I was like, hey, I just got into the industry.
Yeah.
It's been like a few months.
Yeah.
What can I expect?
Yeah.
And same thing, I actually got my first listing 6 months into, but I was like, I don't even know what to expect. There's so many highs and lows. And when you said you worked those 6 months, what did work look like to you? Were you cold calling, door knocking?
I used to door knock a lot back in the day. I don't do it anymore, obviously.
But you prescribe to all those old models, not the old models, but the models that have been presented to all new realtors in every name brand brokerage. Making a list of 200 people.
Problem is, it's different nowadays. So I can't have that.
We're going into the social media talk, guys.
No, it's just I can't have that comparison from 06
Yeah.
to 2022.
But
Because
if you have a new agent,
if
that comes
someone
in.
came into the business today,
Yeah.
they are so far ahead of
Yeah.
where I was or people before me were.
Yeah.
Because when I got in the business, unless you had pockets full of money to advertise on buses or in magazines or flyers,
Yeah.
nobody knew who you were
Yeah.
unless you met with people.
Yeah.
Right? So that's where the jump in of the Facebook days started in 06, and I got my license and I jumped into Facebook, throwing albums up and stuff. But people today, there's no excuse. You come into this business, get on social media, create an account, put yourself up there. You can do paid promotion if you don't have a lot of followers to begin with, but it's an avenue right away to be able to get in front of people with the click of a couple buttons. So that's why, not everyone's going to be successful in this business, because then it comes down to work ethic. You can't just get social media and think, okay, I'm in real estate, now everyone's going to want to work with me. Why are they going to want to work with you? People want to work with people who are busy. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. If you see that someone says they're in real estate, is never posting anything about real estate, is, out fishing every day or doing, things that, are not real estate related, why am I going to call you?
Yeah.
Right? So it's not enough just getting to that point, but I tell agents who start, listen, if you have nothing to do, go ask other agents to run open houses, post that stuff on your social media, go book appointments for agent previews, fake it till you make it. Go to a condo downtown, pretend that you're showing it to somebody.
Yeah.
And when I say pretend, really you're not pretending, because guess what? If you're putting it on social media, you are showing people.
Yeah.
Ooh, perspective.
Show the condo.
Yeah.
Oh, then all of a sudden you might get a message. Hey, what's that unit? How much is it?
Yeah.
But these are ways to try and get leads at the beginning when you're starting out and your phone's not ringing every day to go to a listing appointment. You got to do the small things. I think it's doing a lot of the small things that will get you to the big picture, if you want to call it, right?
So when did you do your Facebook and your TikTok? Did it come before your Instagram?
Yeah, for sure.
One other question: when you're creating content outside of sharing your listings, how do you come up with the ideas for the content?
So I have start with Facebook was the first social media platform I ever started putting real estate on at the beginning. That's where I got my first deal from at the beginning.
Awesome.
Okay,
Those were the photo albums?
Facebook photo albums.
That's great.
Yes. And it was the first deal I got on Facebook was, at the time, she was probably about 2 years younger than me. So she had Facebook. She was maybe 20. Parents helped her out to find something. She found me through Facebook and it's like, hey, I want to buy a condo. I'm like, okay. So I sold her a condo at Humberline at Highway 27 for, I don't know, we paid $136.
Wow, imagine that.
For it, the grind. $136. We paid for it. And then guess what, though? That client, I ended up leasing it for them after. Ended up leasing it for a second time. Then I ended up selling it. Then she bought a townhouse from me. Oof. So that one deal that I did back at the beginning turned into probably 5-6 deals later on in life, right? But Facebook was first. Then it was Instagram, 2013, I believe. 2012, 2013. And then TikTok was just when COVID. Actually, right before COVID started, I posted one video at a house. Hey, it's Mark Salerno. This is my TikTok account. Didn't do anything with it. Went dormant. And then COVID started. And then I'm like, okay, let's jump on this thing. Jumped on it and just TikTok exploded.
Yeah, I find you jump on social media platforms very quickly, which I think is super important. My question is your branding. So when I think of you, there's certain things that come to mind. Firm Fridays is one of them. Can you guess the price of this home? Are these things that came organically as you were just, okay, guys, let's shoot? Or, okay, so there wasn't a strategy behind it.
They just came up and it's like, okay, roll with it, right? Now I stopped, I don't want to say I stopped doing it, but I pulled away from it just because everybody and their mothers can guess the price.
It now.
It's like in like the States, it's like everywhere. And hey, it's our business, I guess, do what works, right?
And it's that hook, right, that gets them to stay on the TikTok video.
But the thing was TikTok, so now it's like the growth has obviously slowed down. Because the more people that get onto a platform, the more stuff you see about real estate, the more washed out it gets, right? So at the beginning, that video, the first viral video I had on TikTok was the OVO basketball court, the one we had in Kleinberg, and I think I had 500 followers. This thing picked up 5,000 followers in a day.
Wow.
I posted the video. I'll never forget. I went for a listing appointment at a house that it was vacant and it had no heat. It was like February and I was freezing. I had chilling, my feet were frozen. Like, why didn't you let me leave my shoes on? And it was a disaster. Anyway, went to the listing appointment. By the time I got out, I'm like, oh my God, this thing has 150,000 views.
Wow.
And it was just going off. I remember calling my friends, I'm like, yo, I'm going viral on TikTok. And then the thing is, when you see that kind of like explosion right away, and that's why I love TikTok, because TikTok has the ability to go viral. Instagram, almost impossible to go viral now, unless...
it's luck. It's almost luck or something really special.
Look, real estate to go viral. Now on Instagram, it has to be a really over the top listing,
right?
And it depends what someone's definition of viral too, right? Like now, my definition of viral to me is different. It's in the hundreds and millions of views, not 50,000 views, right? So it all depends on perspective for somebody. Someone might say, hey, if I get 10K, that's like an explosion, right? It's all relative to the size of your account. But TikTok has the ability, even if you're at 0 followers, to pop off. That's why I like TikTok.
So when we come to value proposition and when you're meeting with potential sellers, is this something that you bring to their attention?
Not as much as people would think.
Okay.
I had some guy commenting on my video. Actually, there was this one guy. I was called out twice.
You should do responses to some of their...
I was thinking about it, I'll be honest. Like, one was on TikTok. Some guy made a video. I think it was like, I forgot what it was called, but it was like calling out realtors.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one part that he highlighted me in the video was like, oh, look at Salerno. This whenever I tried to make a joke of a little dollhouse, like a little kid's house, in a listing I had in Nobletown. Like, this is what you can buy in Toronto for $299,000. The guy called me out for it. Fine. That was one. And then on Twitter, about a month and a half ago, someone sent me a message, and I was on a Twitter thread. And funny enough, there were some other realtors who, one of the guy who called me out wasn't a realtor, but the other person who started chiming in was a realtor.
Oh boy.
And then another realtor jumped in and they started questioning, oh, I think he buys followers. And listen, I look people up, if you're going to, and again, I was going to.
I'm sorry, that was straight out of a Goodfellas.
I was going to go in the thread. I was going to go in the thread and comment. I'm like, just Mark, don't even give the time of day to the situation. But I saw it, right? I saw it. And, and
I think people forget that we're people and that we see things and that we want to see who said it.
But the thing is, though, if you don't know me, I would never go and comment on somebody that I don't know and assume. Because I don't know you. That's wrong to do, right? But, these are, again, I look it up and I'm like, this guy did one deal in the last 5 years. I'm not going to even give the time of day for it. If they want to do that, that's fine. It is what it is. But that's part of, you want to have a bigger social media, get ready to get nasty comments because they come.
When did you start the TikTok, you said?
2020. Really started it was March. COVID.
Yeah. So there's lots of time for you guys to start it if you have been thinking about it.
TikTok's still super early for people.
Yeah.
I would say that's the one to jump on even before Instagram.
Yeah.
I like TikTok better for the sake of getting more views and going viral.
I was about to say viewership. Like, I think it's just different. Better. I don't know what it is, the algorithm or...
Well, Instagram feels like they're losing to TikTok. 90-second reels just got introduced last week. Yeah. Why? Because TikTok went to longer form.
Yeah.
And Instagram feels like more of a money grab than anything right now.
A lot of
you may have guys like we have a bigger following. Maybe 10% of the people see my stuff, and same thing with you. They're not trying to push stuff out organically like it was, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
we used to pop off way more on Instagram than we do now.
The platform has changed entirely. They've also now, I think, they want to reduce captions, and now videos are taking up the whole page on Instagram. Like, it hasn't happened on my phone yet, but I was with my aunt
full
and I opened it up and I was like, what is this? And you can't really see the captions. It's just become a full video. So I guess they're just trying not to get lost behind TikTok because...
Because I'll tell you, I was thinking about it last night. I'm I might stop posting photos on Instagram. Yeah. I'm debating that in my mind. I'm thinking I might just go reels.
It doesn't really do it. Honestly, doesn't
full
do
videos. Because I see, and again, I hate judging on the amount of likes. I hate doing that shit because it's just, you got to put it out there for people to see. It's just less engagement
period, though.
That's what I mean. And it's like, why is it like that? Because the platform is pushing video. Yeah. So I think video is like the number one thing you have to be doing. Hence why you guys are doing a video podcast right now. These are good things, right? So just, I would say advice would be push more on video than anything.
Yeah, I think I'm drawn to listening to people speak, right? If I go on a page and I could hear you speak and I could hear the way you deliver information, automatically that's a follow for me. Pictures don't do much for me.
The problem is pictures can only tell so much. Yeah. Video doesn't really lie, right? Like, video is video. Like, I could get to know you by me watching a bunch of your videos. If you put photos of yourself, I don't know who you are.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is we're actually coming into this odd age in our culture where we had this portion of time where everything was fake and people loved it. The whole Kardashian era, the reality TV era, the plastic surgery era, all of that whole era was so popular. And now we have people craving authenticity, wanting it so badly.
They want it, and a lot of people say that they are, or it is, and it's still bullshit. True. Look, nobody wants to talk about that stuff. Yeah. Nobody wants to talk about, you look at something, you're like, that's a sham. Yeah. I know that's a sham. I see it's a sham. Yeah. I'm going to keep it to myself, but I know it's a sham at the end of the day. And
well, that's not really authenticity, right?
It's not, but this is what I'm trying to say. People say one thing and then they do something different.
Yeah.
Right. And the problem, again, how we're talking about what makes things go viral nowadays. It is showing off expensive cars and watches and, beautiful people.
Still exists, yeah.
Well, because people are building that dream, right?
But again, it sucks listen, people want that. Yeah. I'll go on my live videos and people start asking me, hey, how much money did you make this year? What kind of cars do you drive? What kind of watches do you have? But the reality is a lot of people, when they get asked those questions, love it. They thrive off of it. And people like that stuff. I'll be honest. What I say to people when they ask me is, I don't discuss
and
what I
from
make.
what we heard from the last podcast, you didn't even check when you're...
It probably was like 5 years in a row. It's horrible to say.
I mean, so he's being honest. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's just, again, money can't drive you. Money, you need it. It can't drive you. That's never been a force of my why I'm here. It's come to me, I feel, naturally because of what I do. But again, I love when we talk about the authenticity thing, and I like doing these podcasts because it's like you're watching me, you see me, you know who I am. And who I am here is the person that I am when I came to your open house to meet you that first time, right? Again, because I'm not a bullshit kind of guy, I like you to play it straight for me. Tell me how it is, because I'm going to tell you exactly the same way. It's just when you see it online in our business, it sucks. And it sucks more for the consumer because the rug's being pulled from them. Right? And going back to what you asked me about at your listing presentations, people must think, and I went off topic, guys, I'm sorry, I chatted way too much.
Go.
But going back to when you asked about at listing presentations, the guy in the thread said, oh, he probably goes into, and I don't know why I'm putting this voice on, but I imagine he sounds like that, where he's like, he probably goes in and says he has so many followers and that's how he gets his business.
That's
and I'm
crazy.
Like, bro, that's actually probably the last thing. I'll tell people, hey, can we put our stuff out to more people than the average realtor? 1,000%.
And that's a fact. Like
it's factual. I talk about numbers.
Yeah.
I'll open up my phone and show people insights if they want to see it. I have no problem doing that for people. But that's not the big pitch. I would like to think that people would see that as value to them. What's real estate about before social media?
Client care.
The question, well, no, let's talk about the sale aspect. People would ask, where are you advertising my house? Because if it's not the MLS, where's it going? Are you putting it in a magazine? Are you putting it in you know, flyers, ads? Now it's everyone. We're sitting here. We all got our phones. You open your phone. You can't open your phone without seeing real estate. So if I can give my clients a competitive edge to get their property in front of people, it's a source of value for them, right? And, you know, again, I'll explain that to them, but not to the degree that people think.
And even so, can you imagine somebody being upset at that? Like, I have an avenue in which I can bring value to my clients. I'm not going to bring it up because, you know, that's
going to offend you.
It doesn't make you happy, or like, that's strange, right?
If it wasn't for me in real estate, I probably wouldn't have social media. I'd be off of it. So that's just the truth. I keep it around. I love it. And don't get me wrong, I love social media. I love it. But because of look, this week again, the fake account. With the underscore at the end. I must have had 150 messages from people saying, hey, Mark, is this you?
No, of course not.
I've probably messaged you so many times.
I don't even bother telling people that whenever I see someone else's account, I automatically pictures. I'm like,
it's sickening. It's sickening to the point now. It's sickening.
It's annoying.
It's way too much. And again, like, you know, the thing that bothered me the most is I want people to know who I am. I want people to know I'm a daddy. I want people to know I have beautiful kids and I'm not just a fucking robot realtor. But I can't.
There it is.
And look, I can if I was comfortable with my kids' photos being hoarded out online, yes. But I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with people making accounts saying that my wife's dead, and that's what they do. I'm widowed right now. On the fake thing world. I could deal with you putting my pictures on Tinder and Grindr and all the they've been everywhere, eh? They've been everywhere. Sugar Daddy Mark, everywhere. Yeah. I got a list of stuff. It's bad. It's bad. But Instagram, that's why I hate Instagram.
They steal girls' accounts, you know, especially the girls who have the girls who already have the OnlyFans, or even if they don't have the OnlyFans, they have like the bikini pictures and the butt pictures and stuff. Those pictures, and there's a lot of content out there that a single girl might have. They'll take their content, they'll make another page, they'll create their own OnlyFans, they'll go to OnlyFans for one day, pay the like $29, copy all that content, put it on the new OnlyFans, and then make.
It's all revolved around the sham. This is what I'm saying. Like the sham of what happens online. That's the bad part of social media. Is the fraud part of it. And again, I guess you can't control it. But again, I don't use Twitter.
Well, now we have this blockchain, this NFT. We have this. Something's going to happen there that's going to up security. I'm sure of it. There has to be something.
You know what the thing is? Everybody wants to be verified. Like that's the thing. They want to be verified because they think it's a social, like a power
status
thing, right? At the end of the day. But and I get it. Having it, it's there for a reason, and I'm not to argue it. But nowadays, if somebody wants it, you can buy it.
Yeah.
You can buy it.
Yeah.
These are
Any of it.
known
Yeah.
facts. You want views, you can buy views. You want followers,
Yeah.
you can fake it all the way through if you want. But
Yeah.
then you're going to have to be a fraud your whole life.
Yeah.
It's
Right? And then it
exhausting.
goes back to authenticity. Are you authentic or are you fake? Right? So, I don't know. Listen, love social media, but I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's just leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. I love it, but I hate it.
So are you the one responding to all of your messages?
My Salerno real estate account
Yeah.
is me. That's the only person who
How
touches
do you
my account.
manage everything? Like I don't know how
Yeah,
you
who
have
films your stuff? I mean, you must
No,
have
no,
an
I have
assistant.
I have a photographer. We
Okay.
have a videographer who does our stuff. Then I have someone who works for me in my office,
Right.
Monday to Friday, 40 hours a week, content that we don't. My content doesn't really shoot the videos for me. If we do stuff on the phone, yeah, but the professional stuff I still shoot with the photographer,
Right.
videographer, walk
We
through
went
videos.
back to the content thing. How do you come up with your content?
Look, you try and see trends,
Right.
right?
Yeah, like the research for it, like what your method is.
I'm on the phone
Yeah.
all the time.
all the time. It's sickening.
Okay, so that's
My screen time's gross.
how are you?
It's
Does your
gross.
phone
Don't make-
dying all
don't
the
let us
time?
see.
My screen time's gross.
What is
I
it?
can say it.
What is it?
What do you
10,
think?
If mine's 7 hours, so yours is probably like
I probably
10.
It's double digits.
Yeah. Yeah.
A day. It's double digits.
Don't
Yeah,
you
but
get
here-
drained?
That's crazy. There's only 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
It's sickening.
So you're answering, if you have, I don't know, 10, 15 listings going at the same,
Yeah.
I don't know how many you have
Yeah.
right now, but you're responding to all these phone calls.
Yeah, myself and my team.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it depends. Like there's certain listings I'm on by myself.
Okay.
And then there's certain listings that I'm on with team members.
Yeah.
And it slowly
Picks up the slack a little bit too,
well,
right?
You need it. Like there was
Yeah.
points where I had 30 listings on the market
I can't
and like I
imagine.
was doing it by myself.
Yeah. How do you even have
You know?
time to go to the
I
washroom?
had 3 at once and I'm
Yeah.
like dying. Yeah.
I don't know. I still
Yeah.
listen, guys. I still enjoy myself. You know,
Yeah.
still play PlayStation.
Yeah.
Still do these things. I'm a normal human being. At the end of the day, it's not just all real estate, but
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
it is all real estate in the sense where I like to say I work from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. That's my hours. Do I want people calling me at 11 o'clock at night? No. But if I need to deal with something, I'm not one of those guys where it's like,
Not today.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. No, if it's got to be dealt with. It's got to be dealt with.
Yeah.
On my honeymoon, we were in the Maldives. I don't know how people pronounce it. Maldives.
Eh.
I don't want to offend anybody.
Tomato.
Exactly. But it was 4 a.m.
Yeah.
local time there. I don't even know what time it was, but we had an inspection and I was FaceTiming on my honeymoon.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even FaceTime at the time. It was one of those Tango, maybe. It was Tango. I don't even know if
Oh,
you guys
yeah,
know what that is.
yeah, yeah.
It was Tango to do video
Must
calls
have been really slow too and choppy.
in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
Like
my.
FaceTiming my colleague at the time, one of my partners that used to work with me, and trying to deal with work. I didn't have to do that, but it's just if I feel like I'm not giving 150%,
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's not in my DNA.
I was about to say that's true to who you are.
It's not in my DNA.
Yeah.
Right.
But so that means that, so before we wrap up,
Yeah.
we're running on time
Yeah,
here,
sorry
but
about
before
that.
we wrap up, so your partner on
Yes.
your honeymoon, so would you say that one of the factors of your success is pretty much how she handles her portion of,
that at the time it was one of my, it was a damo, someone who used to work with me.
okay.
But no.
Yeah.
Like, look, I have now, it's different. Now and then it's different. I didn't even
Yeah.
have an administrator back then,
Yeah.
right? So, but now, yeah, I have an assistant.
But
who
in terms
works.
of your actual partner at
I
home,
don't,
your wife.
Oh, my wife.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
she
yeah.
said
I
my
say-
wife.
I
I
say
know,
partner.
partner. I'm like, trying to say who's.
No, I'm
Okay,
saying
yeah.
wife. So your
That's my
wife and how she handles her portion of the
She's-
family life
she's the
and
fucking best.
how patient she is and like all these other
She's the
things.
best.
This is what makes a portion of you, right?
Without her,
yes, there we go. That's what I'm
Without
looking
her,
for.
I wouldn't be in the position I'm in. And I could say that very confidently.
Yeah.
Because not only from what she helps with the company, because she works with me.
Yeah.
Not as a realtor on the admin side of things, but just from the understanding of a wife.
Yeah.
For someone who's as high level production as me is like, and I'm not talking about doing deals, just always working,
Yeah.
that she understands.
Yeah.
And it is tough. There's times it's tough. It's
Yeah.
not to say it isn't, but if I didn't have the support from her to feel like I can go and do this, then it's either, there's two things that happen. Mark with no partner,
Yep.
or Mark is in the position he's in right now,
But
beautiful
not-
wife and kids and working and
Yeah.
having the support to do what I have to do.
Yep.
for
Did
my
you guys
business.
meet prior to real estate?
Yes.
Or? Okay.
Yeah. We met in grade 12.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we dated
I'm
for
melting.
3 weeks, and then I don't want to say, yeah, we were kind of dating, and I told her at that point, I said,
You're gonna be my wife?
no, I said I can't do. I said I'm sorry, I can't do this. You're
okay.
at the
That
point
went
we were
a different
18.
way.
We were 18. I said the point, like I'm 18 years old.
Yeah.
I wish I met you later in life.
Yeah.
But I can't.
A lot of
I can't
boys go
do
through
this
that.
right
A lot
now.
of men go through that.
And we both went separate ways. I had a serious relationship. She had a serious relationship, and then we came back together, and we got
Wow.
engaged in 3 months after.
Love.
when
you
How
know,
many
you
years
know.
after that was that?
That was we were 26.
Yeah.
So 8 years later.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So it's
Soulmates
cool.
find their way back
listen,
to each
you
other.
it's no matter what, as successful as somebody is, they're only as successful as the people who are on the journey with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, again, I started the team. Could have been very comfortable working from home. We were doing good.
Comfortable life.
It was
yeah.
good. It was a very
Yeah.
comfortable life. But I like winning with people. Like it goes back to the sports, right? Like
Yeah. That
Team player.
the team aspect is the greatest.
Oh,
It's the
that's a
greatest.
great way to
It's
end
the
that off,
greatest.
isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
So before
You have
we
one
wrap
more.
up, we just
You
we
want
had
a
a
rapid fire? You
question.
want a rapid
No,
fire?
no.
What? Tell me.
We had a question from one of our viewers, and they
Okay.
were just asking. So this question actually came up several times. It was just worded different ways,
Okay.
and it was for new realtors.
Okay. Yeah. New realtors always. Yeah.
And someone had asked if Mark had to start back from day one as a realtor, what would he do to fast track his business? And is there any form of coaching that he would advise?
Stop trying to fast track everything. New agents and just in general in life, everybody wants everything today. I want it now.
They wanted it yesterday.
Get that mentality out of your mind. And if you're a new agent, realtors, the best part is we can have a long life in real estate, right? So obviously do the things that are going to put you in a position to, succeed long term, but get that fast track mentality out of your mind. If you're someone that wants to fast track, and I'm not trying to discourage people from trying to obtain success right away, but just if that's your mental thing, it's going to you probably won't get there, and it'll discourage you and you'll be out of the business is what I would say. So just, again, do the small things like we spoke about before to set you up for success as a new realtor. And that, obviously it goes to trying to, you're asking if I coach or if someone.
No, should someone follow coaching? Like, did you have a coach? Is there
I
something?
had a coach at one point, but honestly, I wasn't really listening to what they were telling me.
I don't think Mark loves authority.
No, it's not that I don't
feel
love
like-
authority. I love learning from people.
Yeah.
I do love learning
Yeah.
from people, but the coaching thing for me wasn't something that worked out. For some people, I know it really sets them up and to do well. But
I think you're the doer. You just go in and do it and figure it out as you go.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, 100%.
Yeah, I think some people are perfectionists, and we don't want that. We need the coaching. Like, tell me how to do it right the first time.
Yeah,
I don't want to mess up.
But again, listen, I listen to a lot of books, read a lot of books, so it's not like I haven't
Self-developed.
I didn't learn this all by myself.
Yeah. All right, lovely. Well, it was so nice to have
Yes,
you
thank
here,
you for
Mark.
having me.
Thank you for taking an hour and a bit out of your day
Yeah,
today to
thank
come and
you.
join
Yeah,
us.
we're
You know,
good,
you have
yeah.
to take a call. Your
Yeah,
phone
we're good.
was
We're
ringing.
good. We're good. We're good.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we look forward to having you join us on our next episode. Have a great one.
See you
Take
next
care.
time.